we're doing our 24-hour build here on this Victory Cross Country, and I did have a guy that asked me if we could do a short video on installation of our front air ride cartridges. So what I've got here is a fork that's already out of the bike from a Victory Cross Country. The Victory Magnum forks, Crossroads, Hardball, they're all the same externally, really. Internally, there's a few differences on the Magnum and the X1 versions. What I have here is a pair of cartridges for our air ride. These are self-contained units that we make here in-house at VicBaggers.com. It's already got the cap on it. It does come with tape on the top, and that is only to protect the threads during shipping process. You can pull that off. It does have an Allen key here, the same size as the axle, and it's threaded on the bottom. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get you a nice pan for all the oil to drip into. As you can see, we've already got one cartridge here. We've already done the other fork. So the tools you'll need once the fork is out is an 8mm Allen socket. Prefer to get one that's pretty long so it can reach up inside of the fork, and a 22mm socket for the top. So the first thing we're going to do, we've already got our drain pan. I've got a few rags here. This is messy. It's there's no way of getting around it. It's just a messy deal to do. So what we're going to do, the first thing is we're going to put the 8mm socket up inside of the back of the fork. We're going to remove the Allen bolt. Now, there is a copper washer that is also located inside of here. So when you pull the bolt out, there's a washer inside of there. So when you dump all this into the pan, you're going to want to make sure that you retrieve the washer. I'm just going to set that there. I'm going to take this fork. Now at this time, this top part will slide off. And you can see the washer fell, the fluid's coming down. So if you just grab it by the top, this will fall out and you're going to have a real mess. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead with this sitting down in here so it doesn't spray everywhere. I'm going to take my 22mm socket and I'm going to take the cap of this off. Now I'm going to pull my cartridge out. I'm going to set it down in here. Now remember, I've got a couple different copper washers in here that fell down in. You're going to want to retrieve these, set them to the side. Top cap comes off, and what we would typically do is we would set these in here to drain a little bit. Now we're going to wipe this all down with Windex. I typically have some all-purpose grease inside of this tube. If you come in real close here, about halfway down that tube is a bushing that runs in there, or some people refer to it as a bearing. It's very similar to the one on this side that sits right in here underneath the seals. You can see kind of the copper bushing right there, just up inside the seals. So once I wipe all of this down with Windex and get all the grease and everything out, I'm going to take some high temperature grease, probably take a small dowel rod, a piece of wood, get up in here to this other bearing that's bushing. We're going to lube that real well as this one with some high temperature grease. Then we're ready for reassembly. So if this was already cleaned out and wiped down, just going to go through this, just acting as if we were ready to assemble. This is completely wiped down. Let's pretend that we've lubricated with grease those two bushings. Make sure you don't have any of this additional tape on here. It doesn't matter, they're not left or right or anything like that. The cartridge would go down in. The cap is already threaded. Again, it has socket you can actually use for the same size as your axle that you'll be able to put in there. There will be a fitting that needs to go down in here that you can purchase with the kits here, or if you buy the front and rear as a whole, it comes with it, and the fitting will go seated down in there. But you'll thread this on, you'll tighten that up. Then on the back side, down here, you take your bolt, put your washer back on, you'll insert, and you'll thread in and you'll tighten. That's what it takes. Again, we got to wipe this down and clean it and grease the bushings. That's the installation of the front cartridges. So as you can see, just kind of a quick here on the bike where we're at right now. We've been working on this thing. We've got it tore down pretty good. So we're getting ready to remove the rear shock, install our rear air ride shock. As you can see, we've got the backbone off, the front end is off. We're getting ready to start putting some things together. Just a quick peek here, we've got a wheel over here that we decided to go on that we machined in-house. This is one of our newest designs of wheels here that we've got. This one's set up to reuse the factory rotors, but we do have matching rotors that we cut here. And this stuff's all done in-house here, guys, at VicBaggers.com. We machine across the street. We do full builds here on this side of the street here at this building. We got a full team capable of doing what to meet your needs, anything you need here. Stay tuned with us as we try to do this build in a 24-hour time frame today. We're going to be trying to bust this out and really try to do something that's not typically done with this stuff. This isn't just a bolt-on tree kit. This is full backbone replacement, full air ride, center stand. I'm going to put a new rear tire on this thing. Our front wheel's been cut already. A lot of takeoff parts that we're not going to be using on this, like a tour pack, forged highway bars, heated seat, tour windshield, several parts we're going to be taking off of this that's going to be available for you guys. So hit us up, PM us, let us know what you're looking for. If there was something seen on the original post of the bike that you'd be interested in. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon here in just a few. VicBaggers.com.